Hey everyone, happy Monday. Want to jump on real quick, give a little bit of an update about how my week one went last week. So Tuesday was my start day, my day one. So I am down 3 pounds, but honestly that is probably very likely period weight. However, I see this happen often when clients lose weight. They'll try and like downplay it, like, oh, I lost a couple pounds, but that's probably just water weight, or it was probably, you know what, no, it was weight, it's down, we're gonna call it a victory. The only thing is I just know that my efforts didn't reflect that, so I definitely have room for improvement. But again, nonetheless, I get to start out this week 3 pounds lighter, and that's a really great jump start on our forward things. So anyway, so how it went. So Tuesday was my day one. I did perfect. I hit my numbers exactly. It was a really great day. Then the next day I did really good throughout the entire day, and then evening came around and I ended up, I think, if I'm remembering right, I ended up having like McDonald's for dinner. Thursday was a complete shit show. I don't think I even really tried very hard. And the remainder of the week really was just a very, very busy week, and nutrition just definitely got put on the back burner. So there, you know, I still tried to make some better choices, but I definitely was not tracking. And I told myself that's, I'm like, obviously I need to be more consistent. I do know that. But as I've mentioned, I am trying to be just very stress-free about things and not overly pressure myself. It's really hard to find that fine line, because there does have to be a certain amount of discipline and consistency, but also I'm not going to overly stress myself. So anyhow, so yeah, I'm not going to beat myself up because I got really busy last week, but the biggest thing that I can do is just try to learn from it. And so for example, like I knew that I was going to have a very busy end of the week. And so if knowing how I did with that and how I just kind of completely pushed nutrition off, one thing I can keep in mind next time I know that's happening, next time I'm like, okay, you're going to have a really busy few days. I can maybe plan ahead better. Maybe if I had done some more meal prep, it would have been easier to just grab and go and stick to the plan. But I just simply didn't have time for cooking and doing too much. So it'll just be a learning experience. I just learned that, you know, on those really, really busy days, I need to do a little better prep ahead of time. But I'm not going to beat myself up. I am human. Things happen. I just learn from it and move on. So moving into week 2, I'm hoping to be just right back on track today. So far, so good. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. One thing that I think is really important as you're starting your journey is I think it's really, really important to pay attention to patterns and habits. For me, that's how I really kind of learn how to improve on things. So for example, one pattern or habit that I've noticed that I've been doing recently is like I'll have a good week and then a not so good week, and then a good week and then a not so good week. So it seems like every other week. So just being aware of that can be helpful, because then like once I have a good week, I can go into the next week knowing that typically I drop the ball a little bit, and maybe be like, okay, what choices do I need to make to turn it into 2 weeks? One thing that I think is worth mentioning, about a year ago, I couldn't even get a good day. Not even a single day. So it's important to give yourself credit for the progress that you've made, even though it's probably taken a year's time to get there. I could not get through one single day making the right choices. Well, now I've progressed where I'm at least doing a week. And even if it's a week on, it's a week off, that's 50% better than what I was doing previously. Now, 50% still an F if we were getting graded in school. So I definitely will need more consistency to get good results. But I also do have to give myself credit knowing that where I was at a year ago and how hard it was to being like, okay, I am getting through a full week. So I am progressing, and just paying attention to those habits and noticing that, you know, okay, let's try and get through 2 weeks or even a week and a half, and just continuing to work on progressing on that. So pay attention to habits. There's a few more that I wanted to share with you, and of course they're not coming to mind right now. But yeah, just the more and more I learn about the way I do things and why I do things, it helps me to just be aware and then to start looking for solutions. I'm a big believer that wherever there is a problem, there is a solution, but sometimes we just don't realize there's a problem, and we just kind of suffer unnecessarily so, or we consider something as normal. So once I can identify a problem, then I'm like, okay, this is the problem. What is the solution? And I feel like there's always a solution. You just have to figure out what it is and sometimes get creative. So just pay attention to things, not to beat yourself up. That is not what we're doing, but just to be aware and look for solutions that can help you. So, all right, you guys, we will talk soon.